Hey everyone, welcome to Advanced Facebook Ads Training by Zach. So we're gonna jump right into it. Let's talk about the training overview and the stuff that we will be talking about. So what I want to talk about first are the three phases of any Facebook uh, ad, not Facebook account, Facebook ad. So there's a pre-launch, which is the basic, it's the foundation of everything that's going to happen later. It's the most important phase. This is where you gather your data, the intelligence, and everything else that will help you scale up your campaign later down the road and help you determine if your ad is performing the way you want it to perform or not. Then we're going to jump into launch phase, which is the shorter phase, which is basically part where we take everything that we learned in pre-launch phase and prepared in a pre-launch phase, and we're going to apply it during the launch phase. And then we're going to talk about the post-launch phase, and this is going to be talking about the scaling up your campaign, testing different ad sets, figuring out what might work better, even testing your funnels, seeing where there are opportunities for improvement or for scaling up. So let's do a quick overview of the pre-launch phase. So first we're going to be talking about the mindset behind the running Facebook ads. We will concentrate on what to expect, what not to expect. We're going to set clear expectations around this one. Then we're going to talk how do you know your ad is profitable. This means that how do you determine mathematically that your ad is profitable? So basically, we're going to go into cost per acquisition versus average order value. And in this case, average order value is whatever you're selling in that campaign. How much are you getting back compared to how much you have invested into ad spend? Then we're going to talk about how to swipe your competition. This is exactly what it means. We want to take good examples of what others marketers have done, and we want to not copy because that's unethical, but we want to take the page out of their book and maybe see if we can get some intimate insight about what worked for them and what might work for us. Then we're going to talk about the creating an advertising strategy. Basically, what is our strategy depending on what our goals are. Depending if we are in a e-commerce arena, if we're in lead gen arena, what is the strategy that we need to take here in order to reach the goals that we want to reach. Then we're going to talk about creating a perfect avatar. Avatar is basically your perfect customer for your perfect niche for the market that you're trying to target. So avatar is going to depend on your advertising strategy. It's going to depend on your entire goal for your ad campaign. Then we're going to talk about the setup process of your ad. What do you need to have in order to set up the ad the way you want it to run, to have everything in place. We're going to talk about all of that. Then we're going to talk about writing a perfect copy that depends on the perfect avatar, create advertising strategy you want to do, what worked for your competitors, and how to make your ad profitable. So your perfect copy is going to address that. Then we're going to talk about long versus short copy. I'm sure every one of you have seen some ads that have been targeted at you. Some of them have a long copy that would be a text about the creative about the video or either an image, and some of them just have a short, and we're going to talk about that when it's appropriate to use long copy versus short copy. Then we're going to talk about the testing. This is also important part. We don't want to burn money. We want to buy data. So the testing is all about buying data. So keep that in mind. That is really important to understand because that is what when you're asked by your client, for example, hey, how come we are not getting any leads, but I see you have spent 50, 100, $500 so far, you need to be able to explain that you're not spending money just on something that's thin air. You're actually buying data. You want to know what works for that market, that niche, and what doesn't work, right? The frameworks are there to give you the tools that to give you that help you have a direction where you want to go, but you need to be able to test that framework against the niche and the market you're targeting. And then we're going to talk about the creative, right? We're going to talk about video versus image, what type of video works, what type of image works. We need to be clear about that when we're preparing to launch our ad. Then we're going to jump into launching our ad. Uh, the launching our ad is basically going to be all about publishing our first campaign. This is really important part, and it's going to cover how to set up the campaign, how to set up ad sets, how to set up ad, what things to look out for, how to make sure that you set up the correct metrics to track depending on the goals of your campaign, and so on. And then we're going to be talking about the post-launch phase. So basically, post-launch phase is that if we have an ad that is running good, or even if it's not, how to make decisions what to do about that ad. Do we want to go into next level with that ad, meaning scaling it up, or do we want to turn off that ad depending on our KPIs, key performance indicators? In this case, that would go back to cost per acquisition versus average order value. So that is basically what we're going to be covering in the advanced Facebook ads training. So let's just jump into uh, first one, which we will be talking about the mindset behind the Facebook ads, and then other topics we will be covering.